So, what is the best thing to do in a bus while you on the way back to Chongqing? It's interview a bus full of foreigners and hear what they actually think about China, the truth. So let's go.
I'll let you answer
Yeah.
this because you're the one that made us come here.
No,
and I was
yeah.
a bit more.
To be honest,
How people come across is that Chinese people are rude and it's not a safe country.
with like not being able to film in certain places, like really private and stuff.
When we arrived in Shenzhen, we also fall in love here. When we were in Hong Kong, people told us, don't go to China, it's not safe. You are foreigners, maybe something bad things will happen.
It's pretty nice here. A little bit better than back in America. I think I want to stay. China is just fantastic. You got public transportation. Back in America, you just got all this problems with their public transportation. They don't have any public transportation. That's the whole problem. A mess there as well. So living in America is just not an option for me.
Doesn't get it.
In terms of convenience, it is the most convenient country on the entire planet.
And even on our government website, if you type in you're going to China, it still says on there, don't travel to China.
Yeah.
I'll let you answer
Yeah.
this because you're the one that made us come here.
No,
and I was
yeah.
a bit more.
To be honest, we was a little bit unsure whether we wanted to or whether we didn't want to. But then we met up with Sunkiss Bucket List, had a few beers. He got chatting to us. He said China's unbelievable. It's so free. You wouldn't believe.
So it was other YouTubers.
Yeah. So basically, it was other YouTubers, and we had to try it for ourselves.
Pretty much our friends telling us about how different it is as you expect. Like,
Yeah.
the people are so nice because how people come across is that Chinese people are rude and it's not a safe country.
And I thought it was going to be really strict, like especially with like not being able to film in certain places, like really private and stuff. But it's so free. It's actually the most free place we've ever been with a camera. Like you can literally record anything, anywhere, whenever you want.
I'm living here for 14 years. It's a pretty long time. And I didn't came because I wanted. First, I was living in Japan and I got scammed. I bought one figure and the figure was fake. And in fact, I started to argue with the seller and the seller just started to talk with me. And then I found out his name was like a Brazilian name. So I asked him, are you Brazilian? And then he said yes. And then we started to talk and he just said like we are the same as you, like a Japanese Brazilian, but he was selling products in Japan, but he was living in Hong Kong. And we were about to come go back to Brazil. We already packed everything. We only have 1 month to go to Brazil. And then he said, why you don't come to Hong Kong to know this city? And it's beautiful. And then once you go back to Brazil, maybe you will not have another chance to come to Asia again, right? So we decided to go to Hong Kong and we fall in love. And then Diego said, let's go to Hong Kong and see what happens. So when we arrive in Hong Kong, we have one e-commerce. We sell a lot of products related with games. But we had a problem with our visa because even though you open a company in Hong Kong, it's not easy to get the visa there. So they told us, we should get a working visa or we should move out. In that time, we buy everything from China. Like most of the accessory was from China. And then we just figured, oh, maybe it's time to go to China and see what happens. So we just took like these 4 bags and then moved to China. And when we arrived in Shenzhen, we also fall in love here. When we were in Hong Kong, people told us, don't go to China, it's not safe. You are foreigners, maybe something bad things will happen. But when we arrived here, it was totally different from what people told us. And then we fall in love and we just think, okay, we will live here as long as possible. So that's why I'm here.
So first, my cousin was like trying to get me to come to China. He was like, oh, come to China. And at that time I had like this relationship in America, which she was like, oh, you cannot go to China without me. You're not going. And then we broke up. And then, finally I'm like, oh, I'm free. I can actually go to China. I can like travel and, see what happens in China and on a little vacation. And I go to China on a vacation and I'm like, oh, it's pretty nice here. A little bit better than back in America. I think I want to stay. So it took me like 6 months to figure out how to kind of live in China, how to make it work. And then, voila, I'm here, and I've been here for like 10 years off and on. Had a couple of years off during some very special time that happened a couple of years ago, but now I'm back in China again, and yeah, having a great time. I mean, China is just fantastic. You got public transportation. Back in America, you just have got all this problems with their public transportation. They don't have any public transportation. That's the whole problem. You got to drive your car. Your car insurance is going to be through the roof because, like $300 a month. Then you got your electricity bill, which is a lot too. But then you got the healthcare problems, which are a mess there as well. So living in America is just not an option for me. But living in China has been a very nice option. And you can just travel to go to other countries like Thailand or Vietnam or Philippines or Japan. And it's all near us. And it's just an adventure. It's a chance of a lifetime. So definitely get off your butts and get over to China and hang out here, even just for a vacation. And you might end up staying like me for a long time.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with obviously the bullet trains here, the high speed trains, unbelievable. Like you can literally get one anywhere. And in the UK, I did say this the other day, but it's 29 times more expensive to go the same distance. So yeah, it's cheap, it's affordable, and everything from ordering food to ordering a coffee being the other side of town and it being on the table when you get to the coffee shop. Or you can order anything and it'll be there within a couple of hours.
The metros are always there. There's 55, I
55
think there is
metros
in China.
In China, yeah.
They're cheap. There's so many, like every 6 minutes I think they are, and probably the best way to get around like a big major city. But probably the best thing that I've probably learnt today is that you can order clothes to your hotel and it'll be there in 30 minutes. I'm going to test that out tonight, so.
That's the ultra convenience.
So everything is convenient here in China. A
It's-
robot brings you stuff to your hotel room, so you don't even have to get up and go downstairs and get it.
In terms of convenience, it is the most convenient country on the entire planet.
Level of convenience like a 1000. Everything's so convenient. Transportation is really perfect, so you can travel anywhere by airplane, by bullet trains, and especially in Shenzhen, it's crazy cheap. You don't even need to have a car. It's easier for you to go around the city with the trains, metros, and DD, this kind of things. But I'm also a lazy person, so I really like to use the internet to buy everything, and everything can arrive in your home like crazy fast. We have Meituan. You can find stuffs that will arrive on your home like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and even you can buy like anything anytime. Like I like fruits and I don't like to peel them, and most of the time I work at night, so sometimes like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning I'm ordering watermelon and mangoes, this kind of things, and they just deliver it in my home. Anything you need. For example, if your air condition broke, no matter what time, no matter what day, you just call somebody and they will come very quickly. I think you don't need to worry about anything here. And if you know how to use the apps, then will be crazy good, because even if you go to the hospital, for example, you don't need to take the lines because the paper already come with the QR code, and then you just scan and pay, and that's done. That's it.
The most convenient part about living in China is just, you got the Waimai, the Kuaidi, you got Didi Dacha, if you got to get around from one side of the city to the other. And then if there is a subway in the city, which there is in probably 20 cities of China has a subway, like a really good, subway that gets you all over the city. I mean, there is just so many options here in China also for just food. There's even foreign food. So if you're kind of sick of Chinese food, you can have a nice burger or some other things as well. I mean, so as a foreigner, it's just really convenient to live in China. You eat better, you live better. There's a lot of healthy options as well. So yeah, I mean, China's always kind of just changing and evolving, and it's just very innovative overall, I'd say, as a country, and especially in the main cities. It's just great being here, and yeah, it's always nice to get back into China for sure.
after you've been here?
Before we came here, we was like we've travelled all around the world, and we've got to countries which have not been what the media said. So we went to China with an open mind. Having said that, we did expect it to be a little bit different, and it was. So I can't, obviously I cannot believe how safe and how clean. Like I said before, it's just an incredible place, and it's the opposite of what they told me.
So everyone says there's so many cameras here, don't go there because you'll get a ticket for crossing the road
Big
wrong.
Brother, that's what everyone says.
But the benefit is that you're safe. Like, I couldn't go on a train in London with my phone in my pocket, but here I can.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about my laptop getting stolen off the table here.
The only people scared of cameras are the people that are committing crimes.
Doing something wrong. And even on our government website, if you type in you're going to China, it still says on there, don't travel to China.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the media definitely tries to paint China as some crazy place that's got a camera on every single corner, and they're always watching you, but they don't really care. Just play by the rules and do common sense things, and everyone's gonna be fine. As a traveler or even as living here, it's a great place. I mean, it's always nice getting back here and just enjoying the freedom of walking around holding your cell phone in your hand, like looking at your cell phone without worrying if a tuk-tuk driver grabbing it. I mean, it just happened to me last week in the Philippines. I got my phone snatched by a guy on a motorbike. I'm an idiot, but that's because I am so used to being in China for so long, and I just think, oh yeah, no one's gonna do that.
When I arrived here, I was shocked because everything was totally different from what we can see on the news. And we try to show that this is the real China. Usually we do like vlogs showing the places we go through. And people in the comments even post something like that. Oh, you are just showing what the people want you to show. And sometimes I will do 360 videos telling people that they can turn the camera and look at all the details that I didn't show like by myself, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, oh no, you are probably like the green screen behind you, just like doing some kind of fake stuff, or oh, maybe they said you can walk from this point to another point to make your video, and that's it, because everything else is totally different from what you are showing in the video. So even though we're trying to show that China changed a lot, maybe it was true that China was poor like 50 years ago, but they developed so fast, but people don't want to believe. On WeChat we can have everything, and they even have some kind of pages. You can find all the products. For example, you have products from your country, you see like South
Africa.
Yeah, and I also have some products from Brazil. So even for the foods, we don't miss like our food because we can find everything in China.
I didn't know. Okay, and the last question is, anyone who's traveling to China, what would be your only advice? Any advice you would give people traveling to China?
Open your mind. Get a translation device or
VPN.
Yeah, good VPN. And enjoy it. Eat everything, try everything, and just
Don't listen to the media.
Don't listen to the media. Come to China, have fun.
And also download all the major apps like Alipay, WeChat. That's the only ones I know.
And follow OTWD.
Okay, so the best advice I can give to come to China for the first time is probably download a VPN, get all the apps ahead of time that you need, download it on your phone for sure, like A-Maps, and make sure you have Google Translate on your phone. And then you also might want to plan your trip a little bit, like do a little bit of research, and yeah, you'll be really fine. I mean, it's not such a hard country to travel in because you've got all the bullet trains going around, you've also got airplanes, and then there's just the best forms of transportation. There's very few scams that happen these days, but watch out at the airport. They will get you. When you first arrive in any airport, always take the public transportation. Otherwise, you're going to get like a $50 scam maybe in Shanghai, and maybe a $30 scam in Kunming or whatever place you go. Take the public transportation when you first arrive in the country.
I think first you need to prepare the VPN or whatever give you access for the internet, and install like the good translate app. And I think the most important thing is you come here with the open mind. Try to not compare things in China. And if something upsets you, try to understand why this is happening. Because there is a lot of things that upset me when I arrive here. But after I start to understand why this kind of things was like this, and then I was thinking, oh, this is like a culture thing. And then it made my life much easier here. And I start to enjoy more the life in China.
Okay, guys, go follow all the channels. As you saw, I put their channels at the bottom. Go follow them, subscribe to mine. And yeah, that was a really nice interview with all the foreigners who've been in Chongqing for like 4 or 5 days now, just traveling around Chongqing. And it's really nice to speak to some YouTubers and actually some foreigners to hear about their life in China and get their experiences. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you did, and if you have any more questions for me to ask foreigners next time. Let's do it. This video again. Let's see. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.